Welcome everyone to the Riddle channel. Finally, after a long awaited time, I'm finally uploading a video, and what a way to start off with a brand new series. It's going to be a short, fun series, I would say. It'll be the not unranked, just Baron Lane to Diamond. So yes, we'll be playing Baron Lane all the way to the Diamond rank. My current rank at the moment is Emerald 4 with I think 2 stars, and I think it's maximum fortitude. Yeah, so I for a long period of time I had the channel ready, but I just didn't know what to upload. So I thought just to get started, let's do a short series, a short fun series, just to kickstart and get into the rhythm of the channel, daily uploads and etc. So with that being said, let's get into this video. And for today, the first ever game, we're gonna be playing Camille. Now, Camille is a very uh unique champion. Like she has like a very distinctive playstyle. Like she can be either very impactful in the game or she can not show her existence until she's like breaking into your base by with a huge minion wave. Like the mobility on this champion is just insane, and I feel like she's one of the best climbing champions for Baron laners. Honestly, like I think champion can easily like help newer players climb out of their ranks, and I feel like I'll be showcasing that into the today's gameplay very evidently. So before we get into the game, like I let's go look into this build path that I went for along with the runes. So if you look into this build right now, like this build path, it seems a bit old. Like I don't have the current new items like Divine Sunder, Hull Breaker, and basically I ran an old build and I just didn't know what to expect of it. I just felt like it was still the best thing I could run on Camille, and honestly, I think I did a pretty good job with it. And like the only way I can show that is I think with the gameplay. But before we get there, go into the runes. So I ran fleet footwork because it usually gives me a lot of movement speed in lane, so it allows me to be a bit more mobile and volatile in the lane, constantly like just making myself so flexible and just like constantly being unpredictable for the enemy laners, so they cannot like predict where I'm going with my champion. So Fleet helps you with the sustain and it gives you a lot of movement speed, allows you a bit more movement and mobility in the lane. Brutal is just a good early game rune. Like you have a lot of early game kill pressure on champions. Like Camille, if you're a smart Camille player, you know that you have kill pressure on any champion in the game because of just how much sustain with her W, with her fleet, and like she has a lot of defensive uh, abilities in her kit that allows her to take duels for a longer period of time. So she always has peak pressure. So early game brutal, amazing. Now second wind. Now this is a bit of a like personal preference rune, I would say. This rune it could go either like Hunter Titan. Some people go Hunter Titan. Some people take conditioning. Some take Carapace. I'm not sure who takes Carapace, but I've seen some people in some certain build paths. Don't question me who. I'm not going to mention names, but I personally prefer Second Wind because I tend to stay in lane for long periods of time. Like I hate going back. I hate recalling, and because I usually just try to maximize gold in game, and I just like try my best to build a gold lead without having to go and position waves and freeze waves because it's solo queue. Like things are so inconsistent and unpredictable. You can never play a perfect lane assignment in solo queue. And lastly, mana flow band. Now this is also a personal preference. I take mana flow band because uh, I tend to spam abilities. I tend to like poke a lot with the second skill with the W. So I generally like this mana flow band because it gives me a lot of damage and it also like increases my maximum mana from like 32 up to 300 mana. So like it's just a good plus point and it like allows me to stay in lane for a longer period of time. So yeah, I think I've covered the runes, I've covered the build path, and with that being said, I think it's time we go into the gameplay. and we're into the game. And
Welcome to Wild
finally,
Rift.
let me set a few settings up right now. Yeah, this should be the better one. Right. So we're into the game. You can see the team comps below. We have a Camille top, an Olaf
Minions have
jungle,
spawned.
a Zed mid, an MF ADC, and a Malphite support. Followed up on the opposing team, we have a Nasus top, Kha'Zix jungle, and
Amusing.
an Ashe mid. Now, Ashe mid is a not something I've seen before, but this is solo queue. Anything goes around here, and so yeah, Ashe mid, Ezreal and Brand bot lane. So early game on Camille against a Nasus, you have to be a lane bully. Like you need to eliminate the
A
fact
sharp
that he
blade
can
quickens
grab
the
any
work.
stacks against you. And right now, I'm not doing a good job because he just ran past me and got a stack, and he got another one there, and he decided to proc ignite, which is a bit questionable, but we'll allow that. So right now, my focus in this
The
game
most
is in this
brilliant.
game itself is
Looks like I
making
missed a
sure this
spot.
Nasus does not get any stacks. And I'm not doing a good job of it, but eventually you
The
see how
most
what I
brilliant.
mean by that. Like
Looks like I missed a spot.
right now, I'm shoving the wave in, which you should not be doing because it allows the Nasus to free farm easily. But luckily, the poke onto the Camille kit is just too absurd for this Nasus to come forward and grab these minions for free. You can see right now it's not the case because Nasus is getting one or two stacks out of every minion wave, which is bad because I have to disallow that at any cost. Because
A
if
sharp
Nasus
blade
scales up,
quickens the
my
work.
champion will be useless. Uh, right now, if you look into my lane, right, I'm so far pushed up. I have no proper vision around this area. Like if you look around this, like luckily my Olaf, due to my lane pressure, he managed to grab the skull trap. I only have this one ward here, and yeah. So overall, right now, I'm not doing anything in lane
A
besides just
sharp blade quickens the
poking the
work.
Nasus and farming. And that is literally all you gotta do against the Nasus. Like to be honest, this any Nasus player knows that they cannot win early game against any champion unless the opposing champion does a mistake or two.
The most
But
brilliant.
I'm not any other champion. I'm not any other player, so I know how to play this matchup correctly. Because Nasus is one of my favorite
Better to
picks as
sip
well.
regret than swallow death.
And so yeah, I see the Nasus is backed off, so I immediately shove the wave back in, and he loses one or two minions out of this, and he gets one stack, perhaps two. Yep, two stacks. He gets two stacks from that wave, and he missed the minions.
First blood.
Meanwhile, on the other side, my team picks up the first blood on the Olaf, and the Kha'Zix trades the kill immediately.
Uncovered.
And I get back in lane and immediately come back to the whole
The
poke
most
zone. Like I'm
brilliant.
back to
Looks like
poking
I
the
missed
Nasus
a spot.
into the wave. Like I'm making sure that he stays far back. He doesn't get to move forward into the lane. Like right now, look how aggressively I'm playing around this area. I'm trying to, just chunk his health bar, force him to use abilities, drain his mana so he cannot
Sharp
perhaps
blade
stack any
quickens the
further.
work.
And Nasus uses the ultimate now. This is a signal for Nasus to go, but look, he ran out of mana. Nasus did not have mana and he had to use his plan to get
Middle turret
some
is
mana
under
back
attack.
in. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here and free farming and just toying with him. I didn't aggress with him. I didn't press my own ultimate. I just made sure that the Nasus would waste his ability. And once again, look at his Nasus mana pool. He's ran out of mana completely, and this is just gonna hurt him so much in lane because he will not be able to out trade me and perhaps like avoid my
A sharp
slows
blade quickens the
with a
work.
V. And you can see right now this is kill pressure territory for Camille. A smart Camille player knows how to
A
get a kill in
sharp
this
blade
situation, and
quickens the
right now
work.
I'm just shoving the wave in. I know this is my prime time opportunity to grab a kill on him, and I've shoved the wave. I'm baiting him out. He decides to auto me, which is a bit questionable. I don't think so he should be doing that,
I'm
and
coming to
this
get
will be a
you.
free kill, and I do it with
Enemy
style on the
ally
hook shot.
slain.
Meanwhile, on the other side, my team is having a fight down near
Fight
the dragon
quickly.
pit. Now, in solo queue, a lot of players tend to do this one mistake is that they
I'm
tend
coming.
to group up just
Where are you
around
going?
Drakes. As a Baron laner, it's not wrong that you shouldn't be grouping up with your team for dragons, but I feel like it's solo queue. The chances of you grabbing that dragon is not
Endurance is
100%.
most reward.
Unless you have a pick that
Enemy
really provides
slain.
good AoE impact in the fight. And with Camille,
Victory is the
that's not the
most
case.
reward.
I can grab 1 or 2% with my ultimate, and that should be it. Uh, so what I try to
Cleanse the
do in my
spot.
games is that I usually avoid grouping up for first Drake unless it's Infernal Dragon. I tend to shove out
Then
the waves
swallow
and
them.
just pressure the enemy laner, force them into this awkward state where
To
their
the victor,
turret
the
takes a lot
spoils.
of damage and just allows me to open up the map a bit more. And luckily, on the other side, my team managed to grab the dragon for themselves, and this really helped my team uh, scale a bit more. So, meanwhile, on the other side, you can see
Ally slain.
the pressure is being dealt by the enemy team in mid lane. Like the Zed is getting caught out constantly, and you can see there's going to be a fight building up around here near Herald. And unfortunately, I was not able to read that situation in time, and I probably tunnel visioned and ignored that play completely. And I go in thinking I can grab a few kills, but I didn't expect a Malphite, so I backed off again, and then I completely try to re-engage, and Malphite flashes in, grabs a kill on the brand, and I say, go all in. I try to shut down the Kha'Zix, I
Enemy.
get the kill on Kha'Zix, I flash away, use the blast cone to escape to my
I'm
safety,
coming to
and
get you.
walk away safely. I have double buffs now, assist, and another kill. So this is really just making me snowball individually. Like right now, this is just uh, prime Camille territory, like to snowball the game, and I'm gonna do exactly that.
A sharp
So I'm back to
blade
pressuring the
hits hard.
Nasus, back to just pushing him back, forcing him to use his mana
A
on
sharp
poking
blade
me or
cleaves the
pushing
work.
me back, like putting him in that awkward state where he cannot
Enemy
grab his
slain.
stacks comfortably. Like I know I cannot completely avoid it, but I can make it awkward for him to get his stacks. And Nasus uses ultimate. As Kha'Zix comes around, I try to avoid this play. I try to escape, but unfortunately
Enemy
the
slain.
Kha'Zix damages too much, and I will fall. Kha'Zix grabs his double buff
Enemy
back
slain.
in, and meanwhile on the other side, my Olaf picks off the Ezreal in mid lane, and Ashe will be taking him down, and Kha'Zix comes out of nowhere and takes him down. Meanwhile, the remaining members on my team, they are gonna look to grab the mid lane turret, but oh, Malphite goes in, and Zed is a bit overextended, and he gets punished for it. Same case for Malphite.
Enemy
The
turret
MF did not
destroyed.
have her ultimate, so I don't think she was able to perhaps deal any like
Top
AoE
tower
damage
is
into the
under
fight,
attack.
so she just preferred to take the turret and back away. I feel like 1 or 2 Qs might have done the job, but again, solo queue, you cannot expect very highly of the players. Like every player has their
A
own
sharp
mindset. They
blade
don't.
quickens the work.
They're not every player like has the same
Turret
thought
lost.
process. So again, you just have to do your part correctly. And so, with that being said, I take the turret. I was thinking to back off, but I
I'm coming to
don't know
get
why I
you.
decided to overcome it. I saw this.
A
I
sharp
predicted the
blade
Nasus to go
quickens
on
the
the
work.
Scruggs again to grab stacks, and I just push him back. Now I'm thinking
A
at this
sharp
point I'm
blade
probably
quickens
alone
the
and I
work.
can just take a duel with this. But I randomly see an Ash come through, and then Ash flashes out of nowhere, and I just use my ultimate. And once again I get
Strike
punished for
quickly.
it, and
Has been slain.
once again I'm down. Like I just don't know what to do here. Two ganks in a row, and I've been killed twice. So not good from my end. But meanwhile, on the other side, my team is doing their best to gain river control to try to pick off the Kazi. But look at that damage. The Ash, the MF is half health
Top
in
turret
one
is under
Q.
attack.
Meanwhile, on the other side, the Ash is just taking the my turret, and this Ash was a real big problem for me because she was really like punishing me a lot around
Turtle
the
is under
map. And
attack.
meanwhile, on this side, you can see there's a fight being built up around the dragon, and my team is
Ally
trying their best to
slain.
hold on and just perhaps, delay this for me to arrive. And MF goes in with the ultimate, and I use that to capitalize as much as I can. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to grab the dragon, but I managed to get a triple kill on the Camille, and this is my avenue to come back into this game.
Shut
So
down.
after getting
The
killed
enemy
twice, I
team has
still
slain
managed
the
to pull
dragon.
off that play and grab three kills, an easy triple
A
kill.
sharp blade quickens the
Eh,
body.
we traded the
You
Infernal,
missed a step.
but we got a lot of kills. So
A sharp
not,
blade
I
quickens
would
the
say it's a
body.
50-50 trade. It's a 50-50 trade. And I tried to go onto the Ash, but just I regretted immediately and I just flashed away. And oh, that's a nice sidestep. Like the okay. Now that's just the individual mechanics that come in handy time to time. Good movements. And
A sharp blade quickens the
me,
body.
Zed, and Olaf decide to go for this Herald, and
Most deadly.
I just completely jump onto the Nash. Same with Zed. We just try to stop him. Meanwhile, on this side, Khalid tries to jump over the wall, and luckily my Olaf. Oh my God! He grabs the Dragon Bound 2 HP, and meanwhile you can see the Ezreal just does a questionable dash, and he gets caught
Rampage.
out for it, and I get another kill, and I go on a rampage. Now I go in with this very aggressive upstart win out. I felt like this could be controlled, but look at how I use the Camille ultimate so effectively.
Quickens the
The
body.
Camille ultimate, I now if
I'm
you
coming to get you.
can if you can like pause, go back and watch that play,
Enemy
turn the speed
turret has
down and
descended.
watch it slowly.
That's
What I
swift
did,
death.
I jumped
Bottom
in,
turret is under
pressed
attack.
ultimate on Ash,
To
forced
the
her in an
victor,
awkward
the
space, and
spoils.
luckily my MF was smart enough to press her ultimate. And what I did was I didn't go back into this turret, like I didn't go in this area where the dead body is. Like I made sure I stick around this corner area of the bush and just lock the. I stayed enough range for the Ash to be stuck into my ultimate, and she had to take free damage from the MF, and which resulted in a double kill for her. So overall, a good play from me. And once again, right now you can see I'm no longer on that split push duty. I've left my lane completely, and I'm just trying to gather information and perhaps pick off members. And now at this point, this is the mid game stage. Now this is where most of the throws happen in solo queue. Like most solo queue games go sideways at this stage. Like teams tend to like force over aggressive plays, which eventually bites them in the back.
Where are
And
you going?
right
A
now,
sharp
from
blade
what
quickens
I'm
the
doing
body.
is just trying to gather information, and I see this Nasus. I force his ultimate.
The
Now,
most
if I was
deadly.
being greedy here, I would have pressed ultimate and forced this Nasus to take the fight, but no. I know what my duty is right now. I'm
A sharp
trying my
blade
best to just
quickens the
gather
body.
information. This is right now
Haven't
not the
missed a
time
step.
for me to fight because you can see there are like three members here around the bot side. Like the enemy team can easily collapse on me and grab double kill, and that could be bad. So I decide not to commit to the play, and right now you can see my Malphite is getting caught out. I try to help him. I get the get aggressively going aggressively. The Malphite gets caught, and meanwhile on the other side, I try to protect the MF.
Enemy
I
triple
immediately
kill.
just go in with the dash, with the hook shot, and I just look at once again the synergy between me and
Enemy
MF with the hook
slain.
shot, with the CC, with the
I
slows.
always
Me
shoot
and
first.
MF were, I feel like, so in sync.
A sharp
That's
blade
sometimes the beauty
quickens
of
the
solo
body.
queue. Like, I look at my damage and I dodge the ultimate with the Camille ultimate. Like,
Killing
oh
spree.
my
A
goodness.
sharp blade quickens
Now
the body.
that's just good timing. That's just good timing. So, right now, at this stage, I can either go for this dragon, which
Enemy
Kha'Zix has
turret
started over
destroyed.
here with half health, but me and Camille go for a play that we felt like we could benefit more from, but the Ash was
Slain.
there, and luckily my Zed somehow managed to grab the kill on the Kha'Zix, and he steals the dragon away from him. So what a chat! And oh, Brand decides to flash on me, but He misses his abilities completely, and I survive. And my team immediately collapses on him. Olaf has gone all the way in, and Malphite. Look at the Malphite ultimate. Malphite ultimate cleans up the kill, and overall the team was like my team was doing a very good job. Just chaining CC, juggling the damage and abilities from the enemy
To the
team, just
victor, the
making sure
spoils.
they don't like die and give away unnecessary kills. Like my team was doing a good job on doing that. So at this stage, I'm just once again on information duty. I'm just scouting out wards, clearing vision, and seeing where the enemy is, any enemy team members are. Hmm. I go over to the Baron just to grab the Scuttle Crab because again helps with the vision, gives a lot of gold and
Like I use
regen.
the spot.
100 gold and free vision, and I set up a ward around this bush just to be aware. And meanwhile, on the other side, you can see that the enemy team tried to collapse on the dead, but unfortunately that does not work out. And once again, MF uses the ultimate, and Ash stuns her completely. Olaf goes in, and I use this opportunity to go with a hook shot, and I completely jump onto the Camille, onto the Ash. Sorry, not on the Camille. And this was the game deciding fight. This fight was the cleanup, and it was enough for us to perhaps close out the game. Overall, a very clean fight, a very clean game from our side. I feel like the game completely snowballed the moment I got that position on the dragon.
Looks like I missed the
That was
spot.
the momentum our team needed, and here you can see, and we're just gonna close out the game, and that'll be it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's the first episode, and we'll look into this final scoreboard. You can see 26 to 15, 7-9 score line. Uh, I got a triple kill and multiple other medals. Yeah, there are a lot of medals. I cannot read them all. So I dealt around 19,000 damage with 23,000 damage taken. I feel like that was a lot of that damage came through the tower shots that I was tanking in the early game. But overall, I think I did my job. Like if you look at my opponent, like Nasus was only involved in 5 kills. That's like the least in the entire game. Like I did not allow the Nasus to have any impact into this game. Well, yeah. So yeah, with that being said, that's the end of the first episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if there anything else you want to see, any champions you want me to play, uh, any other things I can add to the series, or any suggestions. If you liked the video, drop a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and perhaps press the bell icon for future updates and future videos. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.